All right, shifting gears to weather now. You are taking a live look at Jamaica as we continue to track Hurricane Melissa, the strongest storm ever known to hit the island. It made landfall just about 15 minutes ago near New Hope. Winds up to 185 miles an hour, a slow-moving storm. Pat Kavlin, you've been tracking all of this.
Yeah, so we have a lot of records to deal with this storm, and we can sort through some of them. But the one that I really want to point out to everybody is that this now ties the record for the most intense hurricane to ever make landfall in the Atlantic basin.
Oh.
It's not the most intense hurricane ever recorded, but it is the one with the most intensity at the time of landfall. And that ties a record that goes back to 1935. So there it is. We talked about it at the top of the show. Official landfall time is when the center moves over land. And as I was saying that, the Hurricane Center was putting out their statement. Obviously couldn't read it to you while I was on the air, but there's the confirmation. 1 p.m. near New Hope here in Jamaica, landfall happened with Hurricane Melissa. So here are the stats. From 5 to 2 of the strongest landfalls on record. We don't do this by wind speed. For intensity, we actually do it by central pressure. So notice all of these values in the low 900s, and then you've got the Labor Day hurricane in the Florida Keys, 1935. That pressure dropped down to 892 millibars. And so today we tied that record with Melissa with that central pressure still holding steady at 892 millibars. There it is as of the noon update. And this is all preliminary. The Hurricane Center during the off season will go back to these storms and actually do a final analysis to see what everything looked like, what the final numbers are. But still a remarkable storm here, a devastating storm. Sustained winds 185, gusts though to 220 miles per hour. You're talking about the strength of an EF5 tornado. The storm is starting to pick up steam a little bit, so it'll be a fast mover across the island. After about 5 hours, it should be back over open water, but the devastation will be done by that point. From there, it goes on to the eastern half of Cuba as either a Cat 4 or Cat 3 hurricane. After that, by tomorrow evening, it's over the Turks and Caicos and then races off towards Bermuda. Additional rainfall to come through Jamaica, probably on the order of another foot in some of the higher amounts. So for a grand total, over 40 inches. And then Cuba could see about 10 to 15, 20 inches of rain by the time it's all said and done. So the peak winds right now here on the eastern side of the eye wall, wherever you see that eye is where the wind speeds actually drop down. I think the worst of it comes into Montego Bay later this evening. That's on the north end of the island. Could see hurricane gusts up there, 110, 120, 130 miles per hour. And then it moves up towards Cuba. Again, 100 mile per hour gusts on the western eye wall here as it moves on shore. Guantanamo and the U.S. Naval Base there will see likely a tropical storm force to Category 1 hurricane strength winds before this moves up towards the Turks and Caicos getting into tomorrow.